Hello and welcome to Leaflet for educators looking to learn more. So, do you own a Kindle, an e-reader? Do you own a Nook? Are you stuck in 2005? Are you a Nook friend? I own a Kindle. I don't use it as often as I might otherwise, just because you have to buy books for it, and I would rather not pay for things, so I usually go to the library and pick up a physical copy of whatever I'm looking for, but that's only because it's the economical thing for me to do in my situation. I understand the convenience of the Kindle, and I see people reading them all the time at the coffee shop and such. I would like to know, respond in any way that you feel comfortable, whether email me at jeshuadouglasnoel@gmail.com, leave a review. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment below. If your retention is any different, if your experience reading on an e-reader, if your processing is altered, not necessarily impaired, but like altered in any way when you read on an electronic device as opposed to reading in a physical book. Because obviously, I'm sure you've heard people kind of argue on both sides that, a physical book is the only way to go. Don't you love the smell of a good old book, And yes, but you could also own a Kindle and then just get a candle. You can get that Kindle candle combination. Then you've got you've got your digital book, super convenient, lightweight, and you've got that aroma. So, it's hard to know. I don't think that I'm heavily opinionated one way or the other, but I was just curious because today's article focuses on the impact of reading on a digital e-reader or reading on print in early childhood. Increasingly, children are engaging in early literacy experiences through digital devices. As you probably know, this raises questions about how electronic reading compares to print reading. To assess this, researchers randomly assigned 200 children of 3 to 5 years old to be read the same book with auto narration on a tablet or by a researcher from a print version of the book. Okay, the reading was recorded and coded for behavioral and emotional engagement and vocalizations. Children were also tested on their story comprehension and vocabulary. Children had slightly higher post-test scores in the print condition. Older children and females also scored higher. There was an interaction between weekly tablet use and book platform. Children were equally engaged with the ebook and print book, but vocalized more about the device in the ebook condition. And their findings suggest that ebooks offer many of the same, but not all, of the educational affordance as print books. Additionally, novelty might be important in supporting comprehension. Now, I wanted to make a note about something interesting that I found in their method. Children's questions in both reading scenarios were directed back to the text so that adult-child interaction did not exceed the set parameters of the study. Also, child engagement was broken down into 3 categories: emotional, behavioral, and visual, and each was measured in 10-second segments and rated numerically. So they're kind of reactions to each page, right? And then child vocalization, which is just any kind of verbal response, was also measured and was categorized as narrative relevant. They're talking about the story, device relevant. In the case of the ebook, they're talking about the e-reader, or irrelevant. And it was very, very common for children in the e-reader group to make more comments about the device than about the story itself. So the novelty, right, the uniqueness of reading on a tablet, because that might be a special experience for so many kids, can be a distraction from the story. But I think that can be overcome if a child has their own or uses it in the classroom consistently. It might be tempting to make it a kind of special occasion because it seems like it should be, because it's a privilege to use an electronic device. But if you can kind of make it a more consistent, more subtle thing, it might be less distracting for students in general so that they can focus on the content. And it's just another day. Let me grab my Kindle Fire. Hopefully they don't order 40 jars of peanut butter with Alexa, because I guess that could happen. You never know. So I thought this was pretty interesting. I apologize for the lack of a Today in Education episode last week. It's been kind of a crazy week. Things are ramping up at school. The fall break is coming up, so I plan on doing some research and some more subbing during that time, and then working on this as well, kind of getting some episodes lined up for the next few weeks, so it's not so much of a hassle for me to record them each morning, but rather I can kind of have some already set up, and then but it's hard to do that with the Today in Education episodes, because I want to be as relevant as possible. So I don't know, I just wanted to get that out there to you guys. If you haven't checked out the website, I haven't really been updating the blog as much as I could. We've got a couple people on the mailing list. I've been doing a little bit of that. But because I've kind of broken away from the completely scripted episode format, the blog was just the transcript that I was reading off of for the episode. So it would take a little bit more post-recording formatting effort to kind of get that out there without just, copying and pasting someone else's abstract. And of course, I don't want to do that. So, we'll see what becomes of the blog, but I really want to kind of zone in on the podcast and the YouTube channel. If you don't know, you can watch this on YouTube at my personal account, Joshua D. Knoll. I've also got some other educational material on there. That's why I thought it wasn't too out of line to go ahead and put this on that channel. I've got a little bit of a following there that I thought I could introduce this to. So anyways, just kind of rambling. Have a wonderful day. Be sure to let me know what you think about e-readers in your personal experience and in the classroom. And I hope you have a wonderful day and never stop learning.